Now do faction warfare? Oh, okay, good. Faction warfare, what faction warfare needs is what's called campaigns, right? So the problem with faction warfare, the thing that made faction warfare work was sieges, right? The idea that we're targeting is one place, and therefore all of the combat is focused there for a period of time. The other thing is that when I first joined faction warfare, when Aderon first joined faction warfare, we did because Inferno made it Vindicata. Thank you for joining us down the rabbit hole, Steve Online. So when we joined in Inferno, we did because like the Inferno changes made it interesting and we wanted to check it out. So we literally was like, oh, okay, we're going to check it out for 2 or 3 weeks. So we joined to check it out for 2 or 3 weeks. Aderon Robotics is still in faction warfare to this day, nearly 10 years later. So, just getting people in the door. The problem is faction warfare, like the barrier that people get when it comes to coming into faction warfare is the idea of like standings. Like people get really afraid about the standings thing, and they don't really understand the mechanics. And it's hard to understand where to go to get the correct content if you're from an outside perspective. So campaigns, basically, the elections are coming up. So not really, but like this is a scenario. The elections are coming up. Actually, this is my old scenario, so it's going to date it. Roden is running for president of the Federation again. And in order to do so, there's been a lot of criticism about his weak policies about the border. And so he launches a campaign to retake Intaki. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, Intaki and the constellation around it is the primary focus. All kills and plexes that are gone in there are worth twice as much as everywhere else. And at the end of the time, there will be a report that shows every single person's contribution, both in kills and in LP during that time. And afterwards, if the Caldari continue to own the Intaki system, then Ronan is embarrassed and somebody else is elected, thus permanently changing the history of EVE Online. And if we win, then Ronan is vindicated and becomes reelected and continues to become president of the Federation. Therefore, the lore is impacting the players are impacting the lore. People join faction warfare. We think of like the whole idea of faction warfare being an IS per hour thing. It's the same poison as everywhere else. People that join, I've held roundtables about faction warfare. You know what a lot of people that are into faction warfare want? They want to feel like they're part of the faction, right? They want orders from their faction leaders. These are the one community in the game that has said, no. I want to work for the NPCs. I want the NPCs to tell us what to do. So yeah, we need the NPCs to tell them what to do. If you're going to be working for the Glente, you want to be told by Celis Agard, this is where you want to strike. And then when you do, you want to be, complimented for it. You want titles for it. What's crazy is that when I held the roundtable, what I heard was that they literally did not want more ISK rewards. That ISK rewards are pissing off a lot of faction warfare guys because it's causing people to come in who are just interested in the ISK. They don't want that. They want people that are interested in fighting for their team. They're interested in people that are interested in things like suits and costumes and titles and medals, because that is what motivates people to join a faction war. There you go. Now do faction war. Exactly.